Hey, welcome Restore Beauties. This is PMT time with the Restore Tribe. And so my tea of choice today, if you didn't know, I'm Coach Cher, certified holistic health coach and life work wellness strategist. Some people say work life, but life work strategist. And so my drink of the evening is a green tea classic. My voice is on a comeback, and so I want to address it as such. And so as a life work wellness strategist, my mission as a strategist is to empower and elevate educators, to empower your life and elevate your life, your wellness, and to co-write your comeback story in God. So listen up. Today's topic, we're going to be talking about things that young people wish that parents knew. So I want to have a talk to parents. I've had 15 plus years in education, so 15 years in a Title I school district, providing special education services, providing academic intervention as of now. And I want to just let you guys know, I've also had university experiences. I went from middle school, really when I first started, it was like elementary school, but elementary school through university. So the most profound conversations I've had have been with the middle school young people, high school for sure, and just really learning about what they wish their parents knew. So I'm going to start off with the story because this has a lot to do with observations that I've made and things that I've listened as I was an advisor. And so first we're going to just start off with, yes, I do remember there was a day in advisory where, I forgot the exact question, but a student decided to share their personal gripe with the parent. And as they shared it, a lot of students added that confirmation in, yeah, right? Oh, bro, same thing. And so next thing you know, there were echoes of confirmation because they understand what their classmate is going through. They understand the how annoyed they are. And so I remember the resounding echoing of people saying pretty much the same thing. And so I asked flat out, I said, I'm going to ask you a question and anyone else can chime in if you want. I said, do your parents listen? 99% of the young people said no. They said there's a lot of yelling to get their point across, but there's not a lot of wanting to understand what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, how I'm interpreting something. And that really bothered them. When I say there might have been one student who didn't have that experience, and my students are like the UN. They're like all across the board, so many different ethnicities, so many different nationalities, so many faiths or non-faith. They're like a little microcosm of the world. So parents, I want you to listen up. I want to go on and say, so the kids said that they really wanted they desired a conversation, like a genuine back and forth. They wanted to get to know who their parent is as a person, beyond the I told you to do X, Y, and Z type of a yell type of thing, annoyance. They really wanted to know who they are, and really they wanted to explain their thought process or why they do what they do. And I feel like that can be a very powerful learning opportunity because you can see their thought process as a teen. And even if your child is younger than a teen or older, it's still a good idea and opportunity, if you have this, to have a genuine back and forth. And it's not always to share what you think in regards to what they're saying, unless it's going to be detrimental to their health and their well-being. Sometimes it's just good to take it in and understand where your kid is, where their level of understanding is. And so you kind of know what to pray for, honestly. And that does not have to be in front of them. Now, the second, and this is serious, just as serious, but I really am telling you that every school I went to, there was always a couple of young men who said the exact same thing. They said that a lot of sons are bothered that their moms are spending what they view as an excessive amount of time with their boyfriends. I'm not talking about husbands. I'm talking about boyfriends. It was very clear that was a common denominator. They felt like they, as a kid, as a young person, wasn't desired. They felt like they're over there, back there, and they just, and the adult, their parent. Again, I heard a lot of moms, right? I heard about a lot of moms from sons. Yes, maybe I've heard a young lady or two, but it was overwhelmingly sons saying, Mom, why doesn't she want to talk to me? Why is this guy always around? Why is he like before me? And we're talking about boyfriends, not husbands. So that's something to chew on, that is really eating up a lot of young men. And I'm telling you, this is different schools, different areas, different children. So that's something to really pay attention to. And because this is entitled A Talk to Parents, I'm talking directly to you. And again, disclaimer, I'm not a parent yet. I'm not claiming to have a firm grip on this thing. God bless you for parenting. But listen, I want to share with you some more things. So, as you are aware, or not necessarily aware, in the media, all the images, for the most part, they're pretty much skewed. They're pretty much inaccurate, especially when, they're doing a lot better nowadays, but especially when it comes to people of color, specifically Black folks, okay? And so I'm talking to not only Black parents, but non-Black parents. So there are these images that are inaccurate and depict Black folks as one-dimensional. And you know, the unfortunate part is in general curriculum, you don't have a deep dive into the fullness of American history, of many different ethnicities. You don't. So because of the media's dysfunction and because of the lack of deep dive in high school, you will get that in college if you choose to take those courses, and you'll learn a more well-rounded version of history, or you'll learn stories, fiction, nonfiction stories, where you see a whole lot of different people, and young people can, you know, have a wide range of stories, not a single story. So I say all that to say the solution would be to carve out uninterrupted time and have a day or time set aside to have a weekly or a monthly outing. Maybe the weekly can just be conversations where it's back and forth, as I talked to you before, that those young people really desired. Or it could be a monthly where you're going out. I mean, yeah, you could go to, you know, museums. You can go to Reginald Lewis Museum in Baltimore. You can go to Schomburg Library in Harlem. You can go to the Black Wax Museum, also in Baltimore. You can go to many places, but it doesn't even have to be that. Like, you can, I'm telling you, what these kids want is just time, undivided time, and affirmation and love. So you can weekly have a day or time. Let's say you have multiple kids. You can assign, Fridays are your time from, you know, this time period. You Sunday evenings, or your time is just our time. And no other other child gets that locked in time. Honestly, they will be excited and they will look forward to it. I can hear when kids talk about like going out with the uncles, or I can't wait, they're going out with their cousins, like get excited, and they talk about it as if they were taking like a trip to Bora Bora or something. It really means a lot. Okay, so again, to be clear, because there's so many inaccuracies all around about people, and specifically people of color, and because I'm Black, I can just talk about this. It really would make sense to carve out specific time to affirm them, to listen to them, to see if what they're saying is like inaccurate, if it's something that just needs to be talked about. So that's number one. Number two, again, there's so many myths that proliferate in the country and abroad about Black folks, about a lot of different folks, to be honest. Media, text, maybe the text that your child's teachers are using, there's not a text where they see themselves as a Iranian child, or I'm a Filipino girl. I mean, because of that, you have to take that into account. And so I would say, because there's usually like a text, there's not like a plethora of stories about a deep dive of a culture. So I would say make sure you are intentional about speaking life into who they can be. And I'm talking about character, right? This matters. This is the kind of stuff that matters. So, saying, wow, you are very kind for doing, and then specifically sharing the action that was kind. Wow, thank you for being so honest with yourself because you said X, Y, and Z. Thank you for being so honest with me because you said X, Y, and Z. Thank you for being so patient, Thank you for being so courageous when you did X, Y, and Z. Science is not your favorite subject, but I'm grateful that you came back even better and harder on that second quiz, and you could do it. Even though it's not your favorite, you have the capacity to do well. I'm that specific. You're courageous for trying it again. That kind of stuff, that kind of speaking life into them matters, right? I'm not saying speaking life into like, oh, wow, you'd be a great pilot. Like, no, that's up to them. That's up between them and God. Like, you can give them resources, and I would say you should give them exposure. Give them exposure without trying to say, hey, this is what you're going to do. So that's number two. Be intentional, speak life. Character things. Okay. Again, the kids want a back and forth conversation. Solution number three, listen. Listen. Matter of fact, ask open-ended questions. How questions? Why questions? I noticed blah, blah, blah. Why is that? I noticed blah, blah, blah. How did you do that? Ask open-ended questions and listen. Please don't feel like you need to interject. Just listen. That's number three. And a bonus for today is to join their world. So if your child loves video games, guess what? You're going to go ahead and pull out another controller and get with it, okay? You're going to get with it. You're going to play their favorite game, and then you honestly, at the next time you shop for games, maybe you look for a game that's interesting to you, and they'll get to know your choice. Like for me, I used to play Sega Genesis, and I love adventure games. So my child will know, or any young person that I'm playing games with will know, oh, mommy likes adventure games. And, she likes to explore, exploratory games. Yeah. And I'll play like a sports game here and there, but that's really what tittles my tattle. So then they get to know a little piece about you that has nothing to do with like chores or anything demanding. It's pure fun, pure play. They need to get to know you as a playful, fun-loving parent and person. So yeah, join their world. So immerse yourself in their world. If someone, if your other child likes to read books, then make sure you may not like join them in their room and then start pull out your book. That might be a little awkward, but you make sure you're in the common area and you have your book and you're just sharing your book and you're reading and you're comfy, and you do this however many days, but it's a consistent thing because it affirms their hobby. They like to read. Reading is helpful. Find material that works for you. Everybody's going to like something to read. So that's my bonus. And if there's a little kid, just play hide and go seek with them. Honestly, even with my niece, I can play hide and go seek and sit here with a cup and kind of do one of these numbers and kind of go like that. she loves it. Okay, so you got to get around, moving around. But I do think that is also equally important is to get outdoors, especially if the kids like hide and go seek. So those, this is part one of my talk to parents. And yeah, I just wanted to share those things with you because no matter what year, I always hear sons talking about their mothers in this way. I always hear young people say they wish that they were listened to a lot more. So I just wanted to share that with you. And why don't you, if you have an idea about a topic, an up and coming parent topic that you want me to, talk about, my perspective as a teacher, let me know. Put it in the comment section. So that's it for today. I'll talk to parents. I thank you for watching. And guess what? If you're so much more interested in what I got going on, because there's a lot of great things going on here, I want you to check out the link. The link has access to a book club, and it's the fourth Saturday, and we're reading Atomic Habits. So that's the book club. And there's a newsletter. And honestly, there's going to be so much more because I view the book club as a leisure and book club. So we're going to be doing some super fun things like in the future, day trips, coming together, working out. And I don't mean like something crazy. I just mean like something that everybody can participate in, okay? Something that most people can participate in. And so that's it for today. So I thank you for tuning in. And yeah, have a great week. Figure out a day and a time, if you're not doing it already, a day and a time that you're going to have that back and forth conversation and that time where you're just going to listen to your child. Figure what day that is and let them know. Let them get excited about you time.